I've been cheek to say they're equally as bleak. Several hours or several weeks. It's the beginning of the end. The car went up a hill and disappeared around the bend. Ask anyone, they'll tell you that it's these times that they pretend. They start to fall apart, start to breaking up. So hold on to your heart. Do me a favor, break my nose. Do me a favor and tell me to go away. Do me a favor and stop asking questions. She walked away and her eyes were untied. You could see that she'd wept and you'd seen that we tried. And I watched and I waited till she was inside. I'll send a smile, waving goodbye. Curie, thanks, sleep becomes a heavy load. Too heavy to hold, too heavy to hold. Curiosity becomes a heavy load. So hold on to your heart, it forces you to be cold. Do me a favor, to help. Do me a favor, and stop flattering yourself. Sometimes that blind, perhaps evolve might be too kind. Perhaps evolve might be too kind.
That's freaking, like, I think the first dollar I made down here.
Well, the morning was complete. There were tears on the steering wheel, dripping on the sea. Several hours or several weeks. I've been cheap to say they're equally as big. It's the beginning of the end. The car went up the hill and disappeared around the bend. Ask anyone, they'll tell you that it's these times to pretend. To start to break it up, to start to fall apart. So hold on to your heart. Do me a favor, tell me my nose. Do me a favor, and tell me to go away. Do me a favor, and stop asking questions. She walked away and her shoes were untied. Her eyes were all red. You could see that we cried. And I watched and I waited till she was inside. Forcing a smile, waving goodbye. Curiosity becomes a heavy load. Too heavy to hold, too heavy to hold. curiosity becomes a heavy load. Hold on to your heart, force you to be cold. Do me a favor, ask if you need some help. Do me a favor, and stop flattering yourself. Cause that bias perhaps if off might be too kind. Perhaps if off might be too kind. Well, the morning was complete. The tears on the steering wheel dripping on the seat. Several hours or several weeks, I'd be cheap to say they're equally as bleak. It's the beginning of the end, as far went up the hill and disappeared around the bend. Ask anyone, they'll tell you that it's these times that pretend. Start to break it up, start to fall apart. So hold on to your heart and do me a favor, break my nose. Do me a favor and tell me to go away. And do me a favor and stop asking questions. She's crying, washing away. She walked away and her eyes were untied. We're all red, you could see that we cried. She walked away and her shoes were untied. And her eyes were all red, you could see that we cried. And I watched and I waited till you were inside, forcing a smile, waving goodbye. And curiosity becomes a heavy load, too heavy to hold, too heavy to hold. Curiosity becomes a heavy load. Hold on to your heart, force you to be cold. So do me a favor and ask if you need some help. So do me a favor, stop flattering yourself.